What's up, guys? It's Khalil Carr, and you are watching Buffalo Future's Getting Ahead podcast.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Buffalo Future's Getting Ahead podcast, where I'm your host, Nia Warren, and we are centering youth voice to create a better, stronger support network for youth in the city of Buffalo. Today, I've been graced with Khalil Carr, and he's going to let us know all of the many titles that he has.
Hello, everybody. I'm Khalil Carr. I do a lot of great things. I'm blessed to have those opportunities. Currently, my main focus is producing. I'm a producer at New Era Cap. I do a lot of their productions, and majority of their productions. I also am the founder of Everything Wonders. It's a marketing and media company that is the mother company of Buffalo Fashion Week, where I also am the executive director there. So thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you for coming.
Of course.
We're going to dive into like a little bit of everything today. But let's get into like Everything Wonders. So that is your production company. Can you talk about, what the goal is of that company? Of course, you already touched on how Buffalo Fashion Week is under that umbrella. Mm-hmm. What inspired you to get that started, and where do you see it going from now?
Absolutely. Everything Wonders has always been something like at first I did so many projects. I was a filmmaker. I did marketing consultant for people. I marketed for businesses. I did it for school, and I was like, why don't I just have my own business doing it? And it basically encompasses like soon enough we'll have a magazine. Like I don't know if you know like Complex or like Hype Beast or like where they're on the streets, they're interviewing, and they're also doing a agency where they're promoting brands and promoting different outlets, and they also do their own thing. Like they cover fashion shows, they throw events, they do a bunch of other stuff. And so Everything Wonders will basically be that, where we give people the opportunity to have their brand be a part of the culture, have their story being told through our lens, or how we can support that, if that's like through video production, if that's through marketing consulting, if that's through public relations, something in that sense. But it really started a long time ago when I won't say a long time ago, I feel like it was pretty recent. I was like 15, 16 years old. And I remember just wanting to do something more than just, I don't know, I was called for something else, and my creativity was I'm always jotting stuff down. I'm always trying to create videos. I put my phone up, I get my mom's phone, I get my sister's phone, and I'm trying to do so many films and short films. I've always was creative, and I now want to put it into something where I can be paid for, and also not even paid, but just being able to like tell people's stories in a visual way, because I just love doing stuff like that. So.
Perfect. I love that.
Thank you.
So I feel like that definitely makes sense. So I like to do my research. I know that you guys did do the Wonder Flea Market, where you had a lot of different people with their brands come together. They were able to showcase their talent, showcase their businesses, and just be able to get together and network. And that's something that's really impactful for the people in Buffalo, not just youth, but all professionals, all business owners, everyone who is a creative. What would you say about how events like that and Buffalo Fashion Week and even the outreach and media that you produce for New Era, how do you use all of those different ventures that you have your hand in to empower youth and empower youth leadership?
Hi, it's Tiara Parker. I'm the Director of Success Coaching with Buffalo Futures. Just here to encourage all of the youth in Buffalo, ages 16 to 24, to go to our website, buffalofutures.com, create an account, and then also learn more about our youth council. You can be incentivized to be a part and make your voice heard.
That was a fantastic question, because sometimes I don't get the opportunity to think about things like that. I'm just like always doing. I'm just like, oh, let's do this, let's do this, let's do that. But first, the flea was amazing because it gives people the opportunity to utilize our audience and sell their product. Whereas some people who've never ever was at an event before, but they felt comfortable enough to say, hey, I have these cupcakes that I want to sell. Is this the space for it? Absolutely. And I always say this a lot, but it's a lot of firsts in like my journey. It's like, and I think these events, like back then, I'm sure there were always events, but at such a youthful age, I feel like it wasn't taken as serious. Back then, like I was young before, I was in rooms, like I want to be an actor first. I want to be an actor, so I'm in rooms where people are just like twice my age or 10 years older than me. And now I feel like we're all the same age. We're all youthful. We're all young, and regardless of that, it's just super cool to see that people have those have same minds and same visions. So the Wonderfully was amazing, and being able to throw that was great. But it's amazing to get people together. You know, Fashion Week is that too. Like, I was just talking to my team, like, we don't just do this to, like, somebody was like, oh, I wish the pieces just spoke more at Buffalo Fashion Week. And obviously we're going to have a more rigid process where designers are going to come in and they have to have this, that, and a third. But it's also like, we're here to give people platforms. You know, we want people to learn. We're not New York Fashion Week. We're not Paris Fashion Week. We're not the big leagues yet. But at the same time, it's like, this is our community, and we are all about empowering the arts. That's our mission, right? On our website, it says empower the arts. I want to continue to do that. And so through our events, I want people to find their voices where sometimes it's not prevalent anywhere else, where they might go to school and feel silence. They might go home and feel silence. When they walk into an event of mine, they feel loud. They feel like the center of attention. They feel like they're heard. And so that's a huge, huge win for me, is just being able to have those events and have people come to those events and feel that way.
Perfect. I love that. I actually was able to attend the last fashion show that you had, and I remember like how I felt when I left. I am not a fashion girly. Like, I wouldn't like call myself that. But I did feel like empowered when I left, just as a creative, being able to see the different people expressing themselves in a various amount of ways. Like, nobody had any limitations on them. Everyone was and even the people who were attending the show, they were able to come and dress as models. So it's like everybody didn't necessarily get to walk, but they all looked their best. And so I think that was something that was really empowering. Can you speak to someone who influenced you or empowered you while you were young that contributed to who you are now?
I would say, like, very close is like my mother. My mother was someone who's very outspoken. She was just her, you know what I mean? And I think my grandfather, my grandmother, they're very artistic people, but to me, I don't think I really found my spark to do this from them. I just feel like the passion and the go-getter energy was from them, because I didn't grow up in the best household, you know what I mean? And my mom was a single mother. We had to really like itch to get to anything. Like, my mom was working 2 jobs at a time, and I always say this, like, my mom used to catch the bus to drop off cupcakes at school, and I used to think that was so normal, and living with a bunch of people in the house, like, that was normal and things like that. And then when I found out it wasn't normal, and I went to a different school, and people were like, oh, your mom does this, or you do this, it really made me want to go hard. Like, I literally, something in me switched when I got to a new school. They were like, this isn't normal, this isn't normal, this isn't normal. And then see my mom finally being vulnerable with us, like, this is not what I want us to live like, really ignited a passion in me. And then I was like, how can I put my love of art and my love of trying to get my family out the hood together, right? And so that was my inspiration, like, I need to go hard. And since then, it's been just amazing. And I don't know if I could be religious, but I pray all the time. I pray, and I pray, and I'm like, God, if this is for me, let it be for me. Open these doors, but I'm going to work hard. Every door you open, if it's the wrong door, or not if it's wrong, but if it's like a trial, I'm going to walk through it. You know what I mean? Just open the doors for me. I'm just going to figure that out myself. And I've been very blessed to have so many doors open for me. And my inspiration really is just praying and the life I don't want to have. So I don't know if that's like a good answer, but this is, my family don't know anything about fashion. They don't know nothing about movies. I tell my family I work at New Era. They think I work in the mall at Lids. People don't really know, and it's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. I think the best way to say it would be like, you didn't have anything to like look to be, but you just learn what not to be.
Bingo.
And so that definitely will drive somebody to success.
Absolutely.
In some way. I definitely want to take this time to just go back in time for a little bit, because a lot has happened since, we've been able or been blessed to give you so many titles.
Yeah.
So let's go back in time to around 2022, 2023. Okay. We know that currently you still hold the name for the youngest filmmaker in Buffalo. Can you speak to that process? What it was like working with other young professionals on a film like this, and empowering those professional skill sets to get to that end goal of ultimately producing your first movie?
Yeah. That just gave me chills, because I totally, like, I've done so much in the last and it feels like it's been so long since the movie. I've done so much in the last 2 years, just like personally and professionally, that sometimes I do forget that that happened. And thanks for asking that. But what an experience. Like I was 19 years old, and I just wanted, again, like I said, I wanted to do something that I always wanted to do. And I remember it was no's. Like I went to banks for loans. I asked for support from different filmmakers. I'm like, hey, can you guys support my film? This is the budget I have. Mind you, I was at Chick-fil-A for 5 years. I worked there, was a manager. I lived with my mom, so I saved up money. I didn't have the new sneakers. I ate for free because I was a manager, so I didn't have to eat. And I saved up $10,000. And that was like 3 to 4, like that was 3 years, or I was there for 5 years, but I started saving when it clicked, like I want to do a movie. That was a 3-year long process. Like I was 16, 17 when I said, I want to do a movie. Mm-hmm. I want to do something. So I had to save money. So I saved $10,000, and I just went to people and said, this is what I have. This is what I have. Stupid of me, but some people didn't even care. They was like, okay, whatever, this kid is a joke. So I really had to do it by myself. I had to go on YouTube it, and then find some people that truly believed in that. And the reason why the story got so strong is at Chick-fil-A, Claudine Ewing will come in every night or like every Wednesday. And so it took me like 6 months to finally say, I want to pitch her the story. Mind you, the film is done. No one was talking about it. No one cares at this point. And I strategically pulled her up because at Chick-fil-A, like if the food's taking too long, we pull you up in the spot. So I was like, yeah, let me pull you up in the spot real quick. Let me holler at you.
Your food is at the window, but I still need you in this spot right now.
So I'll
run it.
She ordered like a chicken salad all the time, and I'll go back, and I purposely forgot like the stuff she always asks extra, and she's like, I need extra of this, and I was like, I got you, and I'm holding her. I'm just like, I'm thinking, I'm stressing. So then I run back there, and I was like, before you go, I have this story I want to pitch to you. And she's like laughing. She was like, what's the story? And I'm like, I did this film. I'm young, blah, and this, that, and the third. And she was like, text my number. So I texted her. She didn't text me back. So I just gave up. I was like, all right, we have to just put this movie out. She texted me back this story and was like, I did my research. It took me a week or so to figure this out. You're the youngest filmmaker. Like, how old are you? And I'm like breaking it down. She's like, this is the story. So I was like, I don't think that makes sense. Am I the youngest filmmaker? So as a feature film perspective, you have to be a executive producer. It has to be a feature, meaning it has to be longer than 90 minutes to be a feature film. And so she took that, did her research, ran with it, and was like, this is you. And that story, I think, with the link had like 3,000 likes. I was getting tons of followers. It really changed the trajectory of my life. And the premiere was amazing. I had so much fun doing it with everybody. It was young people doing it, like from the film, the editing to directing. It was an amazing experience, and it's helped our generation too. And I keep yapping about it, but I sat back and I was like, maybe I just was in a bubble, but I don't remember us. Like, it's so many of us like that run fashion organization, that's my age, that are doing music, that's my age, that's going hard right now, that's my age. And I sit in rooms with people and they're my age, and I'm like, that year was such an ushering for us though. And I'm not saying I did it by myself, but I was like, damn, it was such ushering for us. But
you're okay.
What an amazing like opportunity that gave so many other youth, especially that look like us, right? And it was like a paradigm shift in energy where people were like, I want to do a film too. I want to do this too. I want to do that too. I want to do this. And it was so great. And just like looking at that, sitting back and looking at that and seeing what we have done in Buffalo of young entrepreneurs is amazing. So it's done so much, and I appreciate everybody for that.
Yeah. I definitely feel like at a young age of 19, you have to be very enterprising to like have $10,000 and know what the goal is, and know, not necessarily know who to connect with, but be able to identify an opportunity and seize it. That is something that I feel like the youth really need to see. And so I'm glad that you spoke to that, because oftentimes when we are young professionals and we're working at Chick-fil-A, I feel like sometimes in your youth, you may think like, I'm just working at Chick-fil-A till I get out of high school, or to get me through college, or, to get me to whatever that next step is, because the next step must be the opportunity of promise, the opportunity of like coming up, And so I feel like in that moment when you're able to really connect with people, network, and sell yourself, like you really bet it on yourself, and seeing the results of that it can be life-changing. It can definitely shift the way that you perceive yourself. It can also shift the way that other people that experience you perceive their opportunity, perceive their access to success and sustainability. So that's definitely something that I think you should be able to brag about. You know, people don't like bragging, but
Yeah.
I will mind. So it's okay for me.
Bragging.
Can you speak to a little bit about how you have developed through your like educational journey, and what was that like? Just, you know, going through school, and then because I know, like, just to add a little bit context for the viewers, you were a junior senior during the time of producing your first movie. And so a lot of people, juniors, seniors in college, they're just like, get me out of here. I need to go. Can you speak to what it's like to use that enterprising character trait to encourage yourself and keep yourself motivated in those times where you feel like you may have a lot on your hands or a lot on your plate?
I can definitely talk to that. School was absolutely rough. Like, school was the worst for me in those like 3 years, because I was a COVID child, not COVID child, but I was a COVID student. And so we didn't really experience, I wanted to drop out. Like, it was days where I'm just like, I'm done. I can't do it. I'm like failing my classes. And the spirit to continue was, I don't know what it was. Like, I think I met a friend. Her name is Talia. Shout out Talia. We was in like acting class, and I'm like in the back. I'm like quiet. I'm like, I just want to get, like, I'm just ready to go. And Talia brought me around so many people, and I just started to love school. But the knowingness of no one in my family has ever graduated college was imperative for me. Like, I said, okay, I got to stick through this to actually do it. I graduated last year with a BA and public relations in a dual major and media production. But what was cool about that is me sticking it through and me being able to use connections. Because to everybody, I know some people don't believe it, but higher education, if it's trade or if it's college, it is super important. And I think there's a stigma with that where people are like, well, no, you don't have to go to college. And I get that. Some people don't have to go to college, but it was super beneficial to me. I was one of New Era's first employees to ever not graduate the university and be employed. They brought me on for my experience from the film and for Buffalo Fashion Week, and also the connections I made at school. They saw that work, and they were like, okay, what's your school schedule like? Can you work around this? I'm like, absolutely. We'll offer you this. And it was like I wasn't even out of college, and I got offered those jobs. And my professor also hired me while I was a junior. She worked at Best Self, and she hired me outside of, like, she told me leave Chick-fil-A. She was like, leave Chick-fil-A. She's like, that's not where you belong. She was like, you need to be in the community, this, and the third. And so she brought me out of there, gave me corporate experience. And then while I was still in school, so I had 2 corporate jobs while I was in school, while doing the film. Like, it was insane.
Oh, wow.
But school was amazing, and it taught me. It was annoying the first 3 years, but that last year really taught me so much. And doing all of those was just knowing I had to graduate, I had to get this, and I needed it. So I had to juggle all that. On top of, like, I had that. I also had a clothing brand. Like, I don't know what I was doing. I was just trying to do something.
You were busy.
That
You had like 18 jobs.
I don't know. No, seriously. Like, I didn't know what was going on. I just was like, I still can't juggle it, but I don't know how I do it.
Yeah,
but
I know the W-2s was jumping at your house that year. You had like 8 coming.
But the paperwork when you run a business is a little different. Like, you like, hey, and then you get to the end of the year, and they're like, yeah, you owe $5,000.
Oh, okay.
You got to pay now.
Oh,
we don't do Klarna or nothing.
They should let you know when the people pay. Shoot, can you count it up for me? Let me know, like, where I'm getting on that process.
Oh, God.
That is wild. How is that, like,
wild.
with your peers? Like, outside of the people that you work with, outside of the professional relationships that you have, the people that you may know, like, from high school or just simply life, summer camp, how do they perceive you? And do you feel like you have any, like, impact on how they see their success being accessible or not?
That's deep. That's actually, I'm sorry. That's actually
it is,
really
because
deep.
I'm a journalist, and this is what I do.
That's so deep. I think I had a lot of friends in high school, and we were very close, and and this may be selfish, but I did a huge cut for a lot of my friends. I told them at senior year, I said, look, because we all, like, before I had my BFW team, my other team, my production team, it was all of my high school friends. We used to do YouTube videos together. We used to throw parties together. We used to get money up and get hauls, and throw parties together.
Don't put me into my business. Like, why would you do that?
We threw parties together, and we wanted to be entrepreneurs so bad. And then after high school, I was like all my friends, I think we had like a week in Buff State, and then all of them dropped out. And I was like, okay, that's all right. But then I started noticing that summer I was hanging out with everybody, and I was in the car, everybody's cooked, everybody's drunk. And sometimes I take a shot or two. You know, I'm good. Actually, I lied. I can't say that.
No, you can. You're fine.
Okay.
Tell your story.
And it was just, I wasn't in the right environment, right? And I was like, okay, I have to take control over my life. And I think I was so depressed and like around them. Like, if you put a dog in a pig pen, the dog's gonna feel like it's a pig. The dog's not gonna think it's a dog. The dog's not gonna think it can run as fast as it can. Like the dog's gonna literally be a pig with the pigs. They're gonna be in the mud, eating with pigs. And I was just thinking, like, do I want that to be me? And I love all my friends dearly, but it was a huge cut. Like, after high school, I said, all right, they want me to laugh with them. They want to get high. I want to build a business, and I want to take that was my first thing. Is how can I get my mom a house, right? How can I get me a house? Shoot, like, you know what I mean? And it completely changed. So it's now changed to, like, my friend, I talk to them sometimes, but it's went from a banter type of group to they have a lot of respect for me. And I feel like that disconnect has changed where, like, I don't know if it's friendship or is it just, like, distance of I respect you. And when they see me, it's like the banter, they're scared of banter because they don't want to ruin that. Like, it has changed a whole lot. And a lot of people perceive me that I've met before that so differently, that I'm unreachable and stuff like that. And it's just people putting their own, even though I was late today, but people do put their own, like, their insecurities onto you. Like, they're probably like, oh, he can't help me, or he doesn't need help, or I can't reach out. I'm not gonna say this. And it has definitely changed. But the people that I've met, my brothers and sisters of Christ, and my peers in the creative landscape has really taught me, like, this is where I belong. And I'm not saying my past friends aren't the best, but I'm like, I just want to involve myself in such a better area. And to all the youth out there that's having those dilemmas of, like, should I continue to hang out with these kids? Like, they're doing this, they're doing that, and I want to do something different. You just want to hang in the crowd. Really go with your gut, because at the end of the day, you might be in that casket. I've lost 3 friends to gun violence. I've walked for gun violence, and I was sick of losing friends to that. I've lost friends from, mind you, I'm 22. I've lost friends from drugs, gun violence, and it's been so much. And I don't want that to be my story, selfishly, right? I don't want that to be my story. So I want to remove myself from that. And to youth, like, if you're feeling that and you're like, I want to do something different, you need to go with your gut, pray about it, go with your gut, because you know you don't want to be there. You're just there. Find your crowd, find your people. And that's what I had to do. So
that's great. Yeah, I think that's a really refining moment when you get to, because oftentimes I feel like when you're growing up, you don't have a lot of opportunity to choose the environments that you're in. When you're a child, you're wherever your parents can take you. Even when you're in high school, you're like, I'm wherever this bus pass could get me. I'm wherever, like, school will allow me to be, or my mama say I'm good to go. Like, and so it's a liberating process when you're getting older and you're able to, like, prune your environment to best fit yourself. And so I would agree and definitely say that you do have to trust your gut, because it's like your body will tell you. Like, if your body is able to tell you if you're hungry, your body will tell you if your environment is toxic.
Absolutely.
So I thank you for speaking to that. Can you please let the audience know where they can find you on social media, where they can find you business-wise, anything like that?
Y'all can find me at on Bailey. I'm just playing.
Wait.
No, you cannot. You can't find me there. I'm sorry. You can find me on Instagram at Khalil Wunder. The Wunder is a U, so that's KHALILWUNDER. And you can find me everywhere at Khalil Carr. I'm an open book. I'm someone that loves to, work with people, collaborate, coach, consult. Buffalo Fashion Week's show is October 18th. We have some big things coming that way, and I just would love to see you guys there. And shout out Buffalo Futures.
Thank you.
Buffalo has a great future ahead, and I'm very grateful to be here and very happy that you guys picked me. Thank you.
Well, guys, I want to thank you for tuning into this episode. I want to give a big thank you to Khalil Carr for joining us today. It was an awesome episode. For more episodes like this, please stay tuned to our YouTube, Facebook, social medias, and wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. We love you guys. See you in the future. Hey, y'all. Welcome back. It is your host, Nia Warren, Success Coach with Buffalo Futures. I'm just here to inform you about what we've been up to. We are so glad to have you here for season 2 of the Buffalo Futures Getting Moving Ahead podcast. Season 1 was amazing. Our amazing youth leader, Leah Strong, did such an amazing job with hosting the podcast and making sure that all of our guests were accommodated for. All of our guests felt seen, heard. We definitely shared a lot of laughs on this couch, and we definitely had a lot of experience. Through that experience and this Buffalo Futures work, Buffalo Futures was able to discover that we need to get to these youth more holistically. You cannot ask for a youth between the ages of 16 to 24 to be employed and their mental health is struggling, or they're struggling with childcare, transportation, housing, or food insecurity. And so with that being said, we decided to take a more holistic approach to help the youth, and that is connecting them to resources, connecting them to support systems, connecting them to people in the community who really have a heart for Buffalo's youth. And through that work, we have also been inspired to start our Buffalo Futures Voices of Buffalo documentary. This documentary features 63 people that are from Buffalo, have had a Buffalo experience getting into the workforce or contributing to such. And we are just so grateful to be able to have captured their experience, captured their advice, captured their truth, that they were able to be vulnerable and share with us. We are so honored that we have been able to hear their stories. And so we just want to let you know that sooner than later, we will be inviting you to the Buffalo Futures documentary premiere, where you'll be able to see the experience and the truth and advice from professionals that you are next to every day, professionals who we look up to, youth who are our peers, youth who are our children, youth who are our mentors. And so it's a really profound thing to be a part of. We are so grateful that we have a team who is able to come together and create environments like this that we can showcase to our friends, to our family, to our professionals that are next to us, to show other people who, like in the city of Buffalo, are struggling with the access to success, are struggling with the definition of success for themselves. And so we are inviting you to come out to the documentary, be looking out for the documentary, stay connected on our social media so that you can see all the updates that are coming. Buffalo Futures has been working really, really hard. We want to thank our senior director, Jarrell Mason, for working so hard, for pulling this all together and really keeping us on our toes. And once you guys see this work, it's going to be amazing. I know that some of the people who were able to come to our December 6th concert got to see the trailer. You can see that trailer too on our YouTube channel. It's readily available for you there. And I'm just so excited, guys. There's so much going on. Buffalo Futures is so excited to share this new space, share this new experience with you all, and really create an idea of what it is to connect you to success more and more every day. Thank you for watching. I'm your host, Nia Warren, and I hope you have a great day.